Ask for the number. Don't ever give up. That's what my life proves, that everything is possible. That's what you get, no matter what you're told, okay? Unless they talk to God or they... Yes. All right. I first want to just shock your soul real quick. My name is Nuri, AKA D. Anthony Evans. I'm an 11-time terminal cancer patient that was given 6 months to live in January of 2012. That was 13 years ago. I was born with a rare neurological disorder called neurofibromatosis. And as you see, I'm from America. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the marathon where they raise money running in their underwear, but that's the rare disease that I got. But that's how they raise money is, doing 5Ks, and they have people sponsor them. I've had 11 9-hour back-to-back operations and 385 tumors removed from my body. I don't know who your mother is in your life, but my mother was my mother and my father, and I lost her at 16, the third week of junior year. And so I'm telling you all this because you're at that age where I literally gave up and hit the street. Prior to that, I was in a program called STAY. It's an acronym for Steps Toward Academic Excellency. And because I come from poverty, my mother made it clear that it was my responsibility to get us out of poverty. I've been dunking a basketball since I was in 7th grade. Like where I'm from Chicago. And everybody where I'm from thought I was going. I wasn't Michael Jordan, but I was gonna be the dude that was gonna get that ball in the 10 seconds and make sure it got down court. Like no matter what sport you play, like don't try to be the star. Try to be the one that the coach knows, even if it's for 30 seconds, we putting him in because he's gonna win the game for us. You'll go further like that. Everybody can't be the superstar. But if you can be a team player, no matter what sport you're playing, that's what coaches look for. They don't look for the flashy guy. That guy has been flashy since he was born. So you're never gonna catch up with him. But you wanna talk too, Saddam? But you know what I'm saying? When you are the guy that's at the gym first and the one last to leave, these are the type of, qualities that coaches look for, and that's who I was. I was gonna get every rebound. I was gonna run faster than everybody, and I can jump. When we started the game, I was only 5'11", and I'm up against the center, because when you're born tall, you don't work on jumping. When you're born my height, you wanna jump, so you're working hard, like in 5th grade. So by 7th grade, I was dunking a volleyball. By 8th grade, I was doing windmills and just living my life. And in my heart, I was gonna be a basketball player. But I had my first cancer-related operation on my knee. And it took me out the game for good. And 60 days later, I lost my mom. So I lost the two things I was waking up in the morning for. My mom and basketball in 60 days. And I blew my scholarship, I blew everything because it was too hard to cope with, but we're taught not to, get in touch with our feelings. So I was pretending that I was okay, but I was angry. Joined the street gang, started selling drugs, and was just living a very very, very reckless lifestyle because my mom, I was born on her birthday and she was my best friend and she was an AIDS patient. And so when I was growing up, my connection to South Africa was, and this is before your time, but in 1993, if you came out and said that you had AIDS, everybody stepped away from you. And so imagine your mother, what she's doing is noble, but to everybody else, like she put the target on our family, like stay away from them. And now she's gone, and I'm just here by myself. Nobody wants the kid that was left from the AIDS family. You get what I'm saying? And it turned me into a very cold, hard individual. I didn't kill anybody, but with the guys I was with, we did just about everything else. I had a brain. So in my organization, they wanted me to count money and do things that required brain. I wasn't a soldier. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I was some type of soldier. And I'm telling you all this because I don't know exactly who, but I know that coming from, humbling circumstances, there's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure looking at your family not able to put food on the table and the different things you go through when you don't come from money. And then on top of having to act like you're okay in front of the rest of the guys, it's a lot of pressure. And I'm gonna tell you that I tried to hurt myself in 1999 because I did not communicate. I did not get in touch with those feelings. And so what I want you to take from what I'm saying right now is that if you do not deal with yourself emotionally, if you do not address what has your brain stressing all night, it's gonna come out. It's either gonna come out at school, it's gonna come out with a little minor situation with your parents, it's gonna come out on the street. And see, nowadays, it's no more talking, it's not a lot of boxing, it's shooting. Even here, like I'm here. Like it's not let's fight, it's I'm gonna get you. Just like it is in Chicago. And I'm telling you, life is too precious. I was very successful in my life before I got given 6 months to live. But I didn't have God in my life because I was mad at God. Like, what type of God takes your mother, gives you a tumor disease that's only gonna lead to cancer, and then leaves you here by yourself? So I know that's why God didn't allow any of the bullets to hit me, didn't allow all of the drugs we sold, didn't allow me to get put under the jail. But I was living reckless on purpose because I didn't want to really be here. And so I know, man, when I tried to kill myself, I woke up in the hospital. This is how reckless I was. Like, I did not want to be on earth. But when you know God has you covered, you can't even kill yourself. You're trying to leave, and you keep waking up, or you keep not getting arrested, or you're not dead from getting beat up. And I went through all of that only to be given 6 months to live and realize that I didn't want to die. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing thinking you want to die, and then really, all right, D, well, death is right here. And then in your heart, you're like, nah, I don't really want to go. And it was in those moments that I professed. And I'm gonna tell you, I had 3 back-to-back operations, right? And I was like, man, I got this cancer thing. But my circumstance was so grave that they didn't want to do the operation, and they made me sign waivers. You know what a waiver is? Excluding them from any, responsibility should they make a mistake. And I hadn't really read, the paperwork, the first 3 surgeries, because they give you the clipboard as they're rolling you to the operating room. So they've given you the shot, and they're rolling you in here, sign these. So I the first 3 operations I didn't read. That 4th operation, for some reason, my eyes focused. and I saw the word paralysis. And I said, man, I'm not gonna be able to walk. And I started freaking out. I said, and I read the next line. Death is imminent, meaning that this is very, very risky and you're probably gonna die. And I'm signing off on this stuff and that's okay. My family can't come after you and I'm giving you permission to do that. And at that time, I wasn't selling drugs. I got my life together. I was married, house in the suburbs, had a marketing company. I used to broker airtime. Airtime is what an agent will sell to a small business trying to get on TV. And usually you have to deal with the station, and they will give you a quote for the whole world because they work off commission. And I figured out that the guy with the muffler shop, he can get on TV too if I show him how to geo-target the marketing, where only people in Johannesburg gonna see this. They're not gonna see it in KwaZulu-Natal because nobody's coming from there to get their oil changed. So it doesn't make sense to air the commercial in that area. And so I found my niche with small businesses that maybe only had $10,000 US when really it costs $50,000 to get on TV. And so I was doing good, throwing concerts, making a lot of money. But the concert and that marketing life comes with the club and the after party, and you know what comes with that, the drugs and the alcohol. So I've got my life together, but I'm not really close to God. And there's still this negative lifestyle attached to entertainment. If you throw a concert, there's an after party. I know y'all are old enough to know what happens at after parties. It's 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. type of schedule. And the money is great. And as I'm laying on that table, I got tears in my eyes and I just start professing to God, look, I don't really want to die. I started apologizing. I thought about everything I had been saying prior to that, and promised that if I just get through these operations, that I would dedicate the rest of my life to advocacy and awareness, and to not being a perfect person, but working toward being a better version of myself than I was the day before. And I was like, I'll throw something else in there. I promised to touch 1 to 3 lives every single day in hopes that earns me 1 to 3 days. And in my head, you know, that was being honest. And I'm not asking you to do nothing that I don't want to earn, but it made me feel better in the sense that I knew I was going in this surgery and that I might not wake up. Like it was really real. And when I woke up and my legs was, I said, oh yes. And from that day, I never looked back. And it turned into I've given 200 speeches around the world, built a career on speaking. Like if you guys can speak, like I thought I was gonna be a rapper. Like I wanted to be a rapper. That's my background, is rapping. But in the 90s, we were making so much money, we also understood that the rappers really didn't make money. And so I might like your music, but I knew going down, we was making too much. Like I had a 2-bedroom apartment at 17. Like that's the type of money we were making. And so the rappers, though we loved you on TV, we knew you were broke in real life. And so I didn't pursue that, you know. But my point is, I've been given the gift of speech, and I thought it was to be a gangster rapper or something, when the whole time it was to do this. I turned my pain, if you will, into purpose. And COVID is what stopped me. I was coming back and forth to South Africa, but I was doing it with the Tutu Foundation, and we were delivering desks in Zanin and Limpopo, because my whole thing is Zanin in Limpopo.
Yes, what are you delivering?
Lap desk.
Oh, desk.
Yeah, desk for the kids. Because in the areas that they took me to, half of them didn't have shoes and there was no desk really in the school. And I was making it clear to everybody, the only way out of this situation is your education. It's the bottom line. Like, nobody's coming to save you. Even now, nobody's coming to save y'all. Whatever you're going through, and I know everybody here is going through something. There's nobody coming to save you at all. The odds of you going pro in a sport or doing any of that stuff, being a YouTube influencer, you can't count on any of that. That's a distraction right now. Okay? Understand that's for my age group, it was going to the NBA or pro when that's 1% of African Americans actually make it. But we all want to do it in the whole country. But the probability of that happening was very small. And so what I'm telling you is your books, learning a craft and a skill, okay, is the only, because nobody can take that from you. People can take everything else from you, especially when they give it to you. But when you learn something, that's you, like that's in here. And you can take that all over the world and apply it and earn money. I was getting $10,000 US for an hour and 45 minutes of speech because I mastered my story and I learned how to communicate on a whole nother level where it wasn't just, in schools. I spoke in the prison. I spoke to Congress. I have a rare disease. And in America, to get politicians to pass legislation that helps everybody, they use people like me who are articulate, who can talk about their story, talk about the legislation, couple them together, and you kind of soften the politician to get on board to sponsor whatever we're trying to get passed. And they call that lobbying. And that's a great job as well. And that took me all over the world because my disease is rare, but everybody wants to see a patient story that can articulate it in a non-doctor type way. And I took my pain and turned it into purpose for real and made a career. But I had to stop when COVID happened because when you have the type of situation I have, you can't really hop on a plane for 20 hours because it's not healthy. You're breathing 200 strangers' air for a long period of time. The risk, just didn't make sense. So I've been in Hawaii for 6 years and kind of flying people to Hawaii and then helping them get through their cancer battle the way that I did. And another thing, I did no traditional treatment. Does anybody in here know anybody that's died or going through the cancer situation? You? Your dad fought it? He used chemo? I didn't. Oh, your grandfather. So you know what he had to go through, right? And so I didn't go the traditional route, being that I was born with a disease that I knew was going to evolve into cancer. It just took 35 years. I was 315 pounds, which is 15 kilos. I was big as Steve. 10,000 calories a day, 40 pounds of chicken breast a month. I could push about 220 kilos 15 times. I was a monster. But I had the stomach, it wasn't about how I looked, it was about the power. And I knew chemo was gonna kill me. And so there was this Buddhist monk that reached out, was like, I can help you, but it's a lifestyle change that you're gonna have to do. And so in 7 months, this man showed me how to lose 115 pounds by changing my diet. And this also turned into a whole other job for me. Because when they tell you there's nothing else we can do for you, people reach out. Nobody really wants to die. And so I've turned that into a business too. But I just want to give you this little health, what do we want to call it? This little health jewel. Is everybody an athlete here? Yeah, everybody. What are the sports that you play?
Football, basketball, wrestling, tennis.
So all endurance. You ain't nobody playing ping pong. These are all things that you need. You need endurance. And so if you think about what I said, before I could dunk, like naturally, meaning that I was a slim guy, when I hit the street, you kind of had to gain weight if you wanted to survive. Like, it wasn't cool to be on the street and be a slim dude, or you be shooting people all the time. So that's why I kind of got into the training and weight, because I didn't weigh nothing. I was a basketball player, and I'm in the street, like for real.